Hello there. Oh boy. Oh, I don't know what we're going to talk about. No idea. I'm all tucked up in bed. I'm freezing cold. I'm shivering. Hope they're not doing one of them toxic cool down jobs. You know, with a nice nucleation technology job today. It's horrible when they do that. Well, I nearly swore. Try not to swear, really. I don't like swearing a lot. It's not great English, is it? You know. God, it's going to be one of them shows, isn't it, where nothing happens, absolutely zilch. Oh, I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, I'm a bit twitchy. That's just medication. But I've got rid of the shakes largely. I had the shakes. I had insomnia for how long was it? Oh dear, I had insomnia for about 6 or 7, maybe 8 nights. I don't know how many it was, but I was averaging about an hour and a half of sleep a night. It was chronic, and when I did finally reset, as it were, and I'm going to use the word reset because they can't fucking steal the whole language. Oh, bloody hell, sword, whole sword of swearing. Yeah, whole swathes of swearing. Yes, well, I just swore because I did. Because it's freedom of speech. If you don't lose it, you'll lose it. When people stop speaking out, then one day it'll just be something that becomes a thing of the past, because no one will ever say anything. Everyone will ever stand up, and say, "Excuse me, sir, but I think you're wrong there." No, they'll just go, "Aye, aye, aye, sir, aye, sir." I quite like that one. I have to do a bit of a sketch on that one. Aye, sir, aye, sir, aye, aye. Say aye? Nay, you don't say. No, you're not allowed to say anything whatsoever. Anyway, let's talk about language. Let's talk about the lexicon. The English language is a wonderful thing, and it definitely shouldn't be taken over by these fucking criminals. There again, I've sworn again. It might be one of these swearing broadcasts. I do them now and again where I just swear like a trooper. But I try not to use certain words. There's something that the Americans use. I hate the term, and it's in the latest David Icke book. And I don't like the term at all. It makes me want to puke because it's such bad English. It's disgusting. And I'll tell you what it is with a rhyming thing. The word is mind cluckery, if you can join the dots on that one. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think it's totally reprehensible and childish stupidity of David Icke. And I don't care I'm having a go at him. He can take the criticism. He loves it. He thrives on criticism. That's one of the things that I marvel at. You know, it's wonderful. But really, you should use better words, especially at the beginning of the book. It's on page 2. When I reread the book, and I will have another go at it, whether David Icke likes me changing a couple of his little phrases or words or whatever that I find a bit nauseating or reprehensible, I bloody well shall, because it's my freedom of fucking speech. Thank you very much. I like the word fucking. I don't like the word mind cluckery. I don't like the word cluckery. It just makes me feel sick. I don't like the disgusting term. It puts a horrible image in my mind. This will just explain this and elaborate a bit more. Of people talking about enjoying a fist cluck. What the fuck is that? Eh? That's absolutely fucking disgusting. For goodness sake. For goodness sake. Can't these people go into the vegetable patch, find something that will do the job? Anyway, I must relax. I'll read a bit of David Icke, shall we? No, we won't. I'm not going to read any of it. I might do later on if I feel like it. I'm just pissed off with David Icke at the moment. Just at this minute, when I think about how better he could have written his book. And talking of David Icke's English, it's improved in this book, except for page 2 and a couple of other little phrases that I've glossed over in the first chapter, which I didn't like. I'm not a professor of English or anything like that. I've just read a lot of books. You know, I used to read and write poetry when I was a kid. And I was still at school. I used to write poetry. I used to get, 10 out of 10 for my little poems and little stories I used to make up, which wasn't bad for a kid. It wasn't have any pretenses. It was just playing with words, which is what you should do with words. They're very good. But words can be hurtful and harmful. You can put horrible images into people's minds. We don't want the abusive images in our minds. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. We don't want the abusive images in our minds at all. I'm not a Sir NN. She's written, hello, Sir David. I'm not going to get a knighthood from the king. The thing, I call him. I've never called him the king before. I call him the thing. God save our gracious thing, apparently. No, he's not a very nice person. He's not even a person, he's a monster. Don't like him one little bit, and he doesn't like me. So there's no love lost there, is there? Anyway, so at the beginning of this video, I did a bit of swearing. I was making a point, so don't watch the beginning. Just miss the first 8 minutes off or something like that. If you listen to the re-thingy. It was yesterday. Everyone's missed it. They missed killing me on my birthday. How wonderful of them. They missed. yet again. Oh dear. Yeah. They so much hate me, don't they? I don't like hateful people, I really don't. I might end this live stream and delete it actually. But I could leave it on, but don't watch the beginning, please don't, because it's not nice. But it's all about telling the truth, this channel, and sometimes if I got a bit angry, I get angry for a reason, and I'm making a valid point. I think I made a couple of valid points. You know, people should use language carefully, I think. That's what I was illustrating. And I went on to swear in it, which I shouldn't have done. But I lost my temper with myself and with certain persons. So I hope you forgive me for that. And anyone else watching this, you can be quite free to unsubscribe, you know. Anyone can unsubscribe whenever they like. In fact, I welcome it. I'd rather have 10 decent people than hundreds of subscribers. You know, someone to talk to. I'm not bothered, and make a show that's entertaining and people that enjoy. They don't have to subscribe. It's just messing about. All they have to do is dig what I do and enjoy what I do and say, well, that was a good one. That was a good show. That made me laugh. That was enjoyable. That was interesting. That was informative. That was information, not disinformation, misinformation, or non-information. That was informative. That was interesting. I enjoyed myself. And I enjoyed someone exercising their freedom of speech. I found it very refreshing. I encourage everyone else to do it. Do a channel, you know, that isn't afraid to say things. Because we're coming to a point now where everyone's going to be shut down in a bit and no one's going to be able to say a damn thing. So we've got to keep saying things. You know. You know, anyway, let's get on to lighter topics. Dear me. I was going to talk about the English language, wasn't I? English is great. It's wonderful. I'm sure you've got one of these. A dictionary. It's a very good thing to have. You know, if you want to know an English word, get an English dictionary. If you want to know a Japanese word, get a Japanese dictionary. It tends to help things along nicely. Yeah. Wonderful. I hope your English is improving with my help. Although you mustn't watch the beginning of this. Don't watch the replay and put the beginning on because it's not very pretty. It's not very graceful at all. I got angry and I mustn't get angry. It's negative emotion. It's bad. It's always best to maintain your dignity at all times and your poise. You know, maintain your balance, not lose the plot. Well, it didn't actually lose the plot. It was making a point, but I shouldn't have sworn. I'm sorry for that. Right. Let's look up the word planetarium. Planetarium. an instrument for projecting images of the sun, moon, stars, and planets onto a domed ceiling, a building in which such an instrument is housed. I went to a planetarium as a kid, and it's quite fascinating. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's really interesting. It's like the night sky, and it's a dome shape, you know. You know what a dome is, don't you? It's like a half of a circle. It's like standing underneath half a circle, and you're looking up, and there's the night sky. Yeah, that's fascinating. I enjoyed that. It's one of the few things I enjoyed doing. I remember the lecturer when I was a child. I couldn't understand it, of course. I was too young, really. But I remember his voice, and I liked the sound of his voice. He had a very calming voice, and I almost fell asleep a couple of times while I was watching. I was only about, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe 6 even. Yeah, so that was very enjoyable. It's one of the few times I enjoyed going out with my parents, because of course they couldn't. My parents weren't very nice people, to be honest with you. They were a bit, well, not nice at all, really, to be honest. They were very controlling, always telling you what to do, telling you off, telling you you're a bad boy and things like that. You know, always putting you down and reading the riot act to you, you know, basically being obnoxious. But of course they had to shut up themselves while the lecture was on. They weren't allowed to speak, and I found it very relaxing. And the guy, like I said, he had a nice voice. I remember enjoying it. I was fascinated, although I didn't understand. I was too young. But yeah, there you go. But I enjoyed it. Anyway, how's the Philippines this morning? What's the weather like? What's the weather like? Don't know if he's still there. It says there's a couple in, so maybe busy doing something else for a moment. That's fine. Oh my goodness me. Oh, you're in Singapore, but you're from the Philippines though, aren't you? Wow. Working in Singapore. What are you working as, if you don't mind me asking? What branch of, what area of, yeah, you're from the Philippines. Yeah, what area of work do you do? What kind of work are you doing? Just wondered what your specialisation was, what your main occupation is. Working as a helper. Oh, is that a domestic helper in somebody's house? Something like that. Helping them with the chores in the house. You know, helping with the housework. Yeah, okay. I get it. I understand. An assistant. A home assistant. Over here we call them domestics. Yeah, that's another name for a domestic, oh dear, what do they call them? Oh, I don't know. I can't think of the phrase. There's a phrase for it. Anyway, look, we're on peas. I'm doing plankton now. The small drifting plants and animals on the surface layer of a sea or lake. from the Greek planktos, which means wandering. I never knew that. A planner is a person who makes plans, especially for the development of a town, building, etc. A chart, this is the second definition, sorry, a chart for recording future appointments, etc. Where you have a planner, you know, you write out your day's routine or something like that. Doctors of 9 a.m, you know, possibly. As long as it's not a psychiatrist, of course. Oh, you're laughing. This is good. You quite like this, don't you? This dictionary reading. I'll do a bit more dictionary reading. I'll do a special live stream just for you, just about English. Yeah, to help you with your language skills. Right, let's go on to plasma. The clear yellowish fluid portion of blood which contains the corpuscles and cells. That's in the blood. That's the blood plasma. Right. The second definition is for plasma is a sterilized preparation of such fluid taken from the blood for use in transfusions. Yeah, if someone's short of plasma, they can get an injection. It's a former name for protoplasm, which is another word entirely. In physics, plasma is a hot ionized gas containing positive ions and free electrons. It's from the Greek language, and it means something molded. Plasma. There you go. That's probably where you get the word plastic from as well. Because plastic, when it's molten, it's in a fluid state, isn't it? Yeah. Plasterboard. A thin, ridged board made of plaster compressed between two layers of fiberboard, used to form or cover interior walls. Plastered is slang for drunk, being tipsy on alcohol. You know, if somebody's very tipsy, they're plastered. It's just a slang word. I don't know why. Do you know what slang is? Yeah, it's kind of like colloquialism. That's a complicated word as well, isn't it? God, the English language is so difficult. It must be really difficult for you. What is your language called again? Is it Togo or something? It's not Togo. I've got it wrong. I know that. Tegu? Forgotten what it is. I know phlegm only. Haha. Oh my goodness me. I don't like phlegm at all. No disrespect to the Flemish people. That's somewhere in France. Yeah, people from the area of France, I think. Seem to remember. Are you a former professor? Well, how kind of you to wonder whether I am or not. Of course. No, I'm not at all. Not at all. Do I sound like a professor? I say. Your language is called Tagalog. Tagalog. That's an interesting word, that. It's actually Tagalog. I put Tagalog. That sounds Russian, doesn't it? You know, Pavlov and Brezhnev. Brezhnev, sorry, Brezhnev, I said. That's the former president of Russia. Yeah. Yeah. So, there we go. Educating and informing everyone. Everyone in the world watching. There's millions of people watching. It says 2 on the screen. That's 2 million. They're always fiddling the numbers to make you feel inferior. I'm going to develop a superiority complex soon, where I think I'm superior to everyone on the planet. What do you think? Could take over the world. And then that's your nickname, isn't it? Blue. Yeah. Did I remember to call you Blue on your live stream? I can't remember. I think I did. Face blue. Oh dear. I look a bit green. Got shades of green. It's better and it's more green now. Yeah, so, you know, right. Well, we got Platonic. Alludes to the philosopher Plato or his teachings. Platonism is the teachings of Plato, the Greek philosopher, 427 to 347 BC. That's before Christ. Yeah. Platoon, a subunit of a company, usually comprising 3 sections of 10 to 12 men. From the French peloton, little ball, group of men. There you go. I never knew that. Platter, a large, shallow, usually oval dish. From the Anglo-Norman plater. Platypus, an Australian egg-laying amphibious mammal with dense fur, webbed feet, and a duck-like bill. Greek from the Greek, platus, flat, and pois, foot, or pous, foot. Plat and pous put together is flat foot. So a platypus, the duck-billed platypus, must have had webbed and flat feet, obviously. Anyway, it says we've got 0 visitors at the moment. So there's no million watching. It's wonderful, isn't it? I don't know whether you're still there, and then you might have had internet problems. Anyway, I'm going to have a little break for a few minutes, then I'll come back and mess around a bit more. Okay. I'm going to put a bit of music on in the background. Okay. Thank you. I need to go to the toilet, the lavatory. So I'll be a couple of minutes. Oh dear. Oh dear. Whoa. Cold. Just run my hands under the tap. Ironing. Plateau. A plateau is a flat. I'm not sure what word we were on. Let's have a look. I'll put the dictionary away. Oh, I've not got the dictionary with me. I've just got in bed because I'm cold. I'll put the dictionary away so I don't quite know what you're talking about. I think you confused it with platter, which is a small dish. It's a small dish, you know, like a bowl, like a small shallow bowl, and usually an oval shape. Yeah, that's a platter. Usually have like fish on it or something like that, and a salad or something on a platter, or prawns or something like that, whatever, shrimps, that kind of thing, or sandwiches on a platter. So you've got an oval, shallow oval dish like that, shallow oval one, you know, that kind of thing. You spread everything on it, and people can snack from it. I think the music's a little too loud. I'll just turn it off. Oh. Turn it right down. Right. Do you like the music, by the way? This is homemade music, this. This is my art therapist and I, back in a hospital, because I've been in the hospital system for 7.5 years, because they only lock up sane people in the mental health institutions, I've found out. Yeah, I've been under the system for 7.5 years of incarceration, which is another name for imprisonment, which is what it is, really. It's like being in prison. It's not nice not having your freedom. So, yeah, anyway, this is my little bit of freedom, being able to speak my mind, and I will do. Yeah, you had phone problems, I believe. A plateau is a word. A plateau is like the top of a mountain. You know, like if you climb up a mountain and it's very steep, you can suddenly come to a flat bit on the top. That's known as a plateau, where it's flat. That's like the platter. And the dish we were talking about is quite flat, but a bit shallow. It's kind of like slightly curvy, like my hands. I'm trying to get it into a curve. That's a platter. And a plateau is totally flat on top, you know, largely flat, pretty flat on top, above a mountainside or something like that. You know, you go up the mountain and you suddenly reach a plateau, which means it's a flat bit on the top. That's all it is. You could plant your tent on a plateau, couldn't you, I guess, if it was sunny weather. Yeah. Oh, you listening while you work? I see. Well, don't work too hard, my dear. You know, it's try not to, just pace yourself. It's not easy doing menial tasks all the time. Do you wear headphones at work? Anyway, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you sweeping? Are you cleaning? Are you sorting out the laundry? What are you doing at the moment? You're tidying your bedroom or whatever. Just wondered what you're doing. whether it's difficult or not, or whether it's straightforward. A straightforward task is an easy task, something that's simple to do, doesn't have a lot of complications. It's not complicated, it's not too technical. When you're next doing a live stream, let me know anyway, when you are doing one, and I'll pop over. I enjoy your live streams, they're fun, aren't they? Yeah, very good. Some nice people on there, you've got a lot of nice friends. Fantastic. Yeah. Bringing people together, you know, people who have never met before, you know, bringing the world together in a happy way. It's nice. We need good spirits on the earth, don't we? Good people with good hearts and spirits. Good spirited people. Lovely people, nice people, you know. It makes the world go round, doesn't it? Love, you know. Loving people, kindly people, people with manners. There's an old phrase in English which says, manners maketh man. In other words, you know, be polite. It's best to be polite when you can, but it's also a useful facility to get angry and be impolite. But you must maintain a calmness under the surface of your anger so that you're not completely overtaken with anger, because then you can completely lose the plot. Very easy to do that when your adrenaline levels go up, you know, and you become more fragmented and frazzled with nervous energy. That's not good. So, you know, yeah. Yeah, did you hear me before? I was asking what job you were doing today. You tidying a bedroom or cleaning the kitchen? Just wondered what you were doing. You're hoovering. You keep going on and off, I think. I think your internet's playing around because it keeps going 0, 1, 0, 1, you know. I think I'll end it now. You don't mind ending, do you? So, well, I'll have a little break. Okay. Just doing a bit of useless eating. Love eating, don't you? Lovely. I've got a slice of dry bread. Very good. We'll be with you in a couple of minutes. Got a bit of an empty stomach. Just thinking how useful it is to be useless. How, sorry, wonderful it is to be useless. Surplus to requirement. How nice of them. They don't want any of us around, do they? Getting back undercover. Oh dear me. It's cold. Cold this morning. I was putting my hands under the tap to warm up because my hands were frozen. I think they're going to do one of them toxic cool down jobs, you know, with the isolation technology with all the spraying from the airplanes. Not good. I hate it when they do that. It kills all the bees. The birds don't like it either. Nothing likes it. Flowers don't like it. Trees don't like it. Nothing likes it. It's disgusting that they get away with it. People just stood up, you know. Imagine millions of people standing up and saying, we don't want to be sprayed like bugs. Please stop it immediately. They'd have to stop. You know, just on one issue. You could solve the issues, you know. Simple to solve things if people get together. It's not rocket science. We are many. They are so very few, crapping all over us. It's just ridiculous. Why do we take it? Why do we allow ourselves to be abused? allow our environment to get produced. It's not right. It's blatantly wrong. It's obvious, isn't it? When they're spraying stuff, people go, oh, it's just condensation. No, it's not, because it stays in the air for hours and hours. You get all these lines and they just don't disappear. You know, you can watch a plane go, leave a trail, look out the window half an hour later and the trail's still there. And they go on all day, spraying up and down, hour after hour, all day long. And we're breathing it all in. It's madness. It's absolute total madness that people don't do something about it. Why are people so much inertia? It's just ridiculous. People should stand up and be counted and say, look, you know, we are many. Look how many of us are. We've had quite enough of it. Thank you. What are you doing then? Blue. What do you do, Blue? What are you doing today? What's your nickname? Blue, isn't it? A nickname is a pet name. Blue, isn't it? You might not know the word nickname. And then in the pets is from the Philippines. She's working in Singapore at the moment, doing domestic work, home helping, you know. She's a home helper. Yeah, hard working. She does live streams, wonderful live streams. Really good, fun. You know, you can meet a lot of nice people on there. I've only actually been to one before, but I shall go again. I enjoyed it. It's good fun. Let's read something nice. A bit of poetry for you. The Franklin's Tale. The Franklin's Prologue. Of old, the noble Bretons in their days delighted in adventure and made lays in rhyme according to their early tongue, which to the sound of instruments were sung, or read in silence for their own delight. And I remember one, if I am right, which I will render you as best I can. But, sirs, I'm not a civilized man, and so from the beginning I beseech you to excuse me my untutored speech. They never taught me rhetoric, I fear, so what I have to say is bare and clear. I haven't slept on Mount Parnassus, no, nor studied Marcellus Tullus Cicero. I can give colouring to my words indeed, such colours as I know adorn the mead, or else are those they use in dyes or paint. Colours of rhetoric to me seem quaint. I have no feeling for such things, but still, here is my story. Listen, if you will. In Brittany, or as it was then called, Armorica, there was a knight enthralled to love, who served his lady with his best in many a toilsome enterprise and quest, suffering much for her ere she was won. She was among the loveliest under sun, and came from kindred of so high a kind, he scarce had the temerity of mind to tell her his longing and distress. But in the end he saw his worthiness, and felt such pity for the pains he suffered, especially for the meek obedience offered, that privately she fell into accord, and took him for her husband and her lord. The lordship husbands have upon their wives, and to enhance the bliss of both their lives, he freely gave his promise as a knight, that he would never darken her delight by exercising his authority against her will or showing jealousy, but would obey in all with simple trust, as any lover of a lady must, save that his sovereignty in name upon her he should preserve, lest it should shame his honour. She thanked him, and with great humility replied, Sir, since you show a courtesy so fair in proffering me so free a rein, God grant there never was twixt us twain, though any fault of mine, dispute or strife, sir, I will be your true and humble wife, accept my truth of heart, or break my breast. Thus we're both in quiet and at rest. For there's one thing, my lords, it's safe to say, lovers must each be ready to obey the other, if they would long to keep company. Love will not be constrained by mustery. When mustery comes, the god of love anon stretches its wings, and farewell, he's gone. There you go. What do you think of that? It's pretty good, isn't it? That's Geoffrey Chaucer. That's good for your English. Yeah. I love poetry. I love the rhyme. You know, sun and fun, things like that. Goat and coat. Would and could. Should, dud. Sorry, dud. Mud. Blood. It's great, the English language. It's a lovely language. It's the most complicated in the world, I think. Probably not the most complicated to write. That's probably Chinese or Japanese or this other complicated stuff. There's hieroglyphics, isn't there, from Egypt, and cuneiform. There's all kinds of strange jottings down of speech. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Bit of a poem for you. I only read a bit of it. I'm a bit puffed out, actually. I'm a bit short of breath this morning. Can't breathe very well. Excuse me. I'll have to go to the lavatory again. Sorry about this. Oh dear. Oh dear. Just did a couple of morning exercises, trying to get myself reasonably in reasonable shape. Bit out of condition, not being able to get out so much. Just did a few press-ups or push-ups, whatever you want to call them. Did about 5. Might have been 7. Definitely something happening to me lately. Helen's busy, aren't you? Busy working away in Singapore. Long way away. Hope you're not working too difficultly, too hard. But take it easy. Pace yourself. Yeah, there's an old English phrase, an old English quote. Someone said it, I can't remember who. To do many things, do one thing at a time. There you go. That's a good one to remember, isn't it? When you're trying to do everything at once, you can get in a bit of a muddle. To do many things, do one thing at a time. It's a nice little one. To do many things, do one thing at a time. Just one. And then do another one, another one, another one. And then suddenly you've got loads of things done. But one at a time, not 2 at once. Or 3 or 4. I used to do that when I was building my house. I'd start doing one job and then go on to another one. Get bored of that and go on to another one, and then end up doing it loads of things all at once and getting a bit of a muddle with the tools all over in different rooms. Couldn't find things in the end. So then I started structuring myself and saying, right, I'm going to complete this door. I'm going to fix the door on. I'm just going to concentrate on that till it's done, nothing else. And I'd get that done and then move on and do some plasterboarding. Get the ceiling up. God, I had a lot of work to do on an old house. Yeah, so... Did you like my little tune? That's me and my music therapist from 2017. She recorded it for me. She liked it herself. I'm playing the glockenspiel, or the marimbas. I think they were marimbas actually, which is like a xylophone kind of thing, but wooden. It sounds quite something that you'd hear in Singapore or the Philippines actually, or China or Japan maybe. Quite like it. When I get my computer, I'm going to loop it and then record something else on it. I've got a new computer coming, supposed to be here. It was supposed to be here on the 5th of September, but it's now the 16th and it's still not arrived. So it might arrive today, you never know. And when I get it, I can do things like music, do a bit of looping and stuff. So I can take a section out of this, which is known as a sample, take a sample from this, stick it together in a loop, and then play it back, and then record something else over the top, gradually build up different sections so you've got a nice piece of music. Because there's lots of mistakes in this, because it's just a practice. Yeah. I'm tired. I woke up about 4 o'clock this morning. It was early. Didn't have many hours sleep last night. Sit up or fall asleep. That won't be entertaining, will it? Woke up again. Oh, God. I was away then with the fairies in fairyland, having a nice little dream. Yeah, so look. I'm going to read a bit more poetry for you. It's good English. The Physician's Tale. Livy has handed down a tale to us about a knight surnamed Virginius. He was a man of honourable birth, rich, well befriended, and of sterling worth. This knight had a daughter by his wife. There were no other children in his life. Of an excelling loveliness was she, above all others that a man might see. Nature had shown a sovereign diligence in forming her to such an excellence, as if she wished to say, "Look, I am nature, and this is how I form and paint a creature, when so I choose. Who dares a counterfeit? No, not Pygmalion, though he forge and beat, colour and carve for ever, and maintain that Zeus or Apelles would work in vain to colour or to carve, to forget, to forge or beat, if they presume to make a counterfeit. For he, that is the Maker Principal, appointed me his Vicar General, to fashion creatures all that ever were, and paint them as I please. For in my care lies all that's under moon and wax or wane. I form them all, I do not work for gain. My Lord and I are leagued in close accord. I made her for the worship of my Lord. And so I do with all my other creatures, whatever be their colour or their features. This was, I think, what nature meant to say. The maiden was 14, on whose array nature had spent her care with such delight. For just as she can paint a lily white, red in a rose, and teach it to unfurl her petals, so she touched this noble girl ere she was born. Her limbs so lissom she had touched with colour where they ought to be. Phoebus, her mass of tresses with a gleam, had dyed in burnish from his golden stream. And if her beauty was beyond compare, her virtue was 1,000 times more rare. There lacked no quality in her to move the praises sober wisdom would approve. Chaste of her body and her soul was she, and so she flowered in her virginity, with all humility and abstinence, intemperance and patient innocence, with modesty of bearing and of dress, and showed in speech a modesty no less, though I dare say as wise as Palais. She was simple in her words and womanly. She used no fancy terms in affectation of learning, but according to her station she spoke. In all and everything she said, she showed that she was good and gently bred. Shamefast she was in maiden shamefastness, and constant in her heart. She was express in conquering sloth to fill the busy hour. Over her mouth had never Bacchus flower. For wine and youth swell Venus and desire, much as when oil is cast upon the fire. Indeed, her native goodness unconstrained so prompted her that she had often feigned some sickness to escape from company where there was likelihood of ribaldry, where there may be junketings and dances, and good occasion for lascivious glances. Such things as these may soon too easily make a child bold and ripe, as one can see. That's very dangerous and long has been, for all too soon she learns to play the queen, and show how bold she is when she's a wife. And you ladies that in middle life are put in charge of younger gentlefolk, pray do not think I speak as to provoke your anger. Think that your appointment springs from either one or two of two things, from either one or other of two things. Either that you were chaste and did not fail to guard your honour, or that you were frail, and therefore, knowing well the ancient dance, you have forsaken your temperance forever. Teach them for in Jesus' sake, and never slacken. Virtue is at stake. Just as a poacher who forsakes his crimes and leaves his trade in villainy betimes makes the best gamekeeper. He's just the man. Keep your charges if you will, you can. Never belittle or connive at vice, lest you should pay damnation as the price. For those who do are traitors, never doubt it. So give heed to what I say about it. Top of all treason, sovereign pestilence, is the betrayal done on innocence. Your fathers and your mothers, let me add, however many children you have had, yours is the duty of their supervision, as long as they are bound by your decision. Beware of the example you present, or your neglect in giving chastisement cause them to perish. Otherwise, I fear, if they should do so, you will pay it dear. Shepherds too soft, who let their duty sleep, encourage wolves to tear the lambs and sheep. One parable's enough, you understand. Let me return to what I had in hand. There you go. That's pretty good, isn't it? This girl, whose theme of my address was such as not to need a governess. The way she lived, if other girls would look, could teach them more of goodliness than a book. In all that should concern a virtuous maid, she was so prudent, bountiful, and staid. The common frame was eager to confess her matchless beauty and her kindliness. Lovers of virtue praised her and gave proof of her deserts though envy stood aloof, envy that glowers at favour like a thief, and gloats to see another come to grief. A phrase that St. Augustine noted down. This girl one morning went into the town, towards the temple with her mother too, as one may see a girl will often do. Now at that time there was a judge in charge over the city and the land at large, and so it happened that he cast his eye upon this girl as she was passing by, and narrowly appraised her. As he viewed her loveliness, a sudden change of mood entered his heart, and feeling himself caught by her attraction, secretly he thought, I'll have that girl whether I sink or swim. At once the devil entered into him, whose machinations then began to stir and teach him how to have his will of her. He knew quite well that neither force nor fee could suit his purpose in the least degree, for she had powerful friends, and what was more, her sovereignty of goodness closed the door on his desires. He could not hope to win her soul or body to an act of sin. So after much reflection, he sent down for a known blackguard living in the town. As low in cunning tricks as he was bold, he came in secret. Then the tale was told, and having heard it, she was made to swear never to tell a soul, and should he dare so much as whisper, he should lose his head. When he agreed to all that had been said of this accursed plan, the judge was glad and gave him precious gifts as best he had, the best he had. When he had framed their whole conspiracy from point to point to suit the lechery that was to be enacted on the sly, though you shall hear about it by and by, home went that the fellow, Claudius was his name, this treacherous judge that was lost to shame, was surnamed Appius, for the thing's no fable, but quite historical, as many able historians will vouch the gist of it. This treacherous judge, I tell you, set his wit to work and went about without delay to gratify his lust. There came a day when the false judge, authorities report, as was the custom, took his seat in court and gave his judgment upon various cases. All of a sudden, in this fellow races, my lord, I beg with your permission for justice in my pitiful position, touching my suit against Virginius. If he denies it, I say it was not thus, and says it was not thus, then I shall prove and produce good witness to testify the truth of it and fitness. In absence, said the judge, of the accursed definitive award must be refused. Summon him, state your case, and I will hear it gladly. You shall have justice, never fear it. Virginius came to learn the judge's will, and instantly they read the cursed bill. These were the terms of it, as you shall hear. To you, Lord Appius, it shall appear, on showing of your poor servant Claudius, how such a certain knight, Virginius, against the law, against all equity, and an express injunction lodged by me, retains a servant that is mine by right, one that was stolen from my house by night, when she was very young. I can support the charge on witness, may it please the court. My lord the judge, whatever he may say, the girl is not my daughter, and I pray my slave may be restored by your good will. This was the tenor of his accursed bill. Virginius stared in horror at the churl, but quickly he could defend his girl. But quickly, before he could defend his girl and prove it on his honour as a knight, or bring a host of witness as he might, that all was false, his enemy had stated. This cursed judge, who never much has waited to hear the answer of Virginius, spoke out at once and gave his judgment thus. I rule this fellow is to have his slave immediately. The case is very grave. Your house shall not protect her. Fetch the girl, I say the court awards her to the churl. When Virginius, this excellent knight, had understood the judge's doom aright, and knew his daughter on compulsion must be handed over to the judge's lust, home he returned and seated in his hall. He sent a servant bidding him to call his daughter to him, and with ashen face, deathly and cold, gazed on her lowly grace. Fatherly pity pierced him to the heart, and yet he did not falter on his part. In his part, daughter, he said, Virginia, I must name the ways that lie before you, death or shame. You must take, alas, that I was born. O judgment undeserved, O my forlorn and innocent girl to die upon the knife. O my dear daughter, ender of my life, you that fostered up with such delight, whose thought has never left me day or night. O daughter, you are my lust of woe, and lust of any joy that I shall know. Be patient, O my gem of chastity, and take your death, for that is my decree, and it is love, not hate, would have you dead. My pitying hand must strike and take your head. Alas, that Appius ever saw your face to give false judgment in a treacherous case. He told her then all you have heard before of what had happened. I need say no more. Oh, mercy, dearest father, said the maid. As she spoke, she came to him and laid her arms about his neck, as oft she did, and the tears flooded under either lid. Thus she wept. Oh, father dear, said she, am I to die? Is there no remedy? None, none, my dearest daughter. Hope is dead. Oh, give me time, dear father, then she said. Let me lament my death a little space, for Jepatha gave his daughter so much grace as to allow her time to sorrow him before he slew her. She had done no sin, God knows, but ran the first among them all to welcome him in solemn festival. And on the word she fell into a swoon, but when her faintness passed, she rose and soon, and thus addressed her father unafraid, Blessed be to God that I shall die a maid. I take my death rather than take my shame, so do your will upon me in God's name. And having spoke, the child implored that he would smite her softly with his sword, and then once more she fainted and lay still. Her father, sorrowful in heart and will, smote off her head and took her by the hair, sought out the judge and gave it to him there. Sitting in judgment in that open court, where he beheld it, Livy makes report. He rose and gave the order to his men to take the knight and hang him. Then and there 1,000 men came surging from the city, thrusting their way into the court in pity and hope to save the knight. The news had flown, the treacherous iniquity was known. The treacherous iniquity was known, for there had been suspicion of the thing, bred from the way the churl had sought to bring his charge against the knight with the consent of Appius. He knew that his lecherous bent, and so it was, the people had arisen. They took the judge and cast him into prison, and there he slew himself, and Claudius, him that was instrument to Appius, they took, and would have hanged upon a tree, but that Virginius in clemency begged for his exile. They could scarcely refuse, else he would certainly have got his dues. The rest were hanged, the greater and the less, that had been party to this cursedness. Here one can see how sin is paid in wages. Beware, for no one knows how God engages, or when to smite the sinner, or how the worm of conscience will bring terror to the firm in wickedness, however secretly, though none should know it but God and he. Be he illiterate or a man of learning, how soon the blow will fall, there's no discerning. I offer you this counsel, let it make you forsake your sins before your sins forsake you. There you go. That's The Physician's Tale by Geoffrey Chaucer from the Canterbury Tales. There you go. Yeah, well, thank you. Oh, you enjoyed it, did you? That's cool. It's a bit mad at the beginning. There's a lot of swearing at the very beginning, so don't bother to listen to that. Oh, it's great to see you happy. Do you want to get up and have a talk? I'm sick of reading. I'm talking to myself. Tired of it. I'm doing okay, I guess. You have to do, don't you? Just keep keeping on. Just power through it all the bullshit. Just keep powering through, you know. I did well to read that off in one go without any practice. I'm quite proud of that bit I just did. I hope the sound comes out all right on the when it's uploaded. Sometimes it fouls up. Oh, just bare bones PC. You don't have a cam on your PC then? You must get a decent PC. I bought one recently for, what was it? I think it was £270. And it's got all the whizzes and, you know, gadgets on it and everything. Oh, crystal clear sound. That's lovely. Oh, that's really good. Thanks for the feedback. Ellen and Pets are still here. That's good. It says I've only got one visitor. And yet there's a few on here. There was a few. What's the name? Toys is in. What's he called? Dasher Toys. Yeah, I was recently connected with Dasher. Dashuka Toys. Yeah. Story time with Brother David. Yeah. It's a good tale, that. The Physician's Tale. I don't know whether you heard it from the beginning. It's worth rewinding it afterwards and listening to that again. I'm certainly going to do that to see how well I read. I think I read it pretty well, actually. I was quite pleased with it. I stumbled over a few words, but I love the English language. It's beautiful. And then says hi. Ellen and Pets, fantastic channel. She does really good live streams. She does really good live streams. Wonderful. Yeah. She's from the Philippines, but she's working in Singapore. She's got to plug this in. Running out of gas. Oops. Oh, it's confusing, all right. That's very true. That's why the legal people get away with such bullshit, really, don't they? Because they can tie up everything in language, confuse the issue and everything, obfuscate and everything. It's mad. What's the weather like in Australia then? Yeah, when you try and teach the Taiwanese people, yeah, I should imagine that's pretty difficult. There's a lot of different people in the hospital working here. Some of the foreign people, they can barely speak English. Some of them are appalling. It's a bit difficult when you're, wanting to talk to someone. Say, for instance, I'm not particularly in distress, but imagine a patient that's suffering, you know, obviously on a medication. He says he's not been let out or there's been a problem and he wants to talk to someone. If they've not got good English skills, it's not exactly great for the patients, although it's cheap for the hospital, obviously. They're getting everything on the cheap, aren't they? It's madness, really, because it's not really appropriate, really, to be honest. Not for patients. It's not doing a good service for the patients at all. But they're nice people. I do like them. I like all of them. You know, and they're only trying to make their way in the world, aren't they, after all? You know, a lot of them are students. They're studying English and stuff like that, and they're learning off me. I'm teaching them more than they teach me. Although I do learn little bits of culture from them, you know. So, yeah, it's interesting anyway. I find it interesting. But a lot of the patients, you know, it goes beyond them. They're not interested in philanthropy or anything, you know. They're not, you know, they want to express themselves and get their grievances aired or something like that. And if the language barrier is so difficult, it's quite difficult to get your point across. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. We're all trying to get by, aren't we? Yeah. Got to get along to live along. Yeah. I think everyone's included, you know what I mean? I include everyone. I try and treat everyone with equal respect, except the doctor and some of the obnoxious stuff. You know, some nasty pieces of work. What time is it? I'll have a look. 8:05 in the morning. 8:05 in the morning. Sunny, but misted over with all the smoky crap out of the aircraft. Horrible, actually. It looks pretty awful out there. It's like a soup in the sky. Toxic soup. How is your health? Happy David, I mean. Happy Joy is called David as well as me. Yeah, how's your health, David? Don't know if you can hear me. That's not good. I've forgotten what your condition is now. What exactly have they diagnosed you with? Or haven't they told you? Haven't they identified it or whatever? I don't know. I can't remember what you said, to be honest. At least I'm honest. Can't remember everything, can you? Every detail of everyone. But I knew you were really ill. But you were fluctuating, apparently. It's good days and bad days. That's it. No wonder I couldn't remember. What does isopathic mean? took you nearly a year to get your head around your own condition. I'll have to look them words up. It might be in my dictionary, one of them. They're a bit scientific though, aren't they? Calcification of the joints. Right, okay. So it's kind of like a build-up of calcium. Too much. An excess of calcium in your joints. Sounds painful. Sounds like having a lot of chalk in your bloodstream or something or whatever. I don't know. Sounds as if it might be pretty painful. Well, it is painful, obviously. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, how can you kind of decalcify it then? There must be something that will take the calcium away. The excess of calcium. Building a second spine. Well, we might need it in the battle. Need some spine. Yeah. Need some backbone. Well, I'm sorry though. You know, obviously, you know, I'm not joking aside. I don't mean to jest. But, yeah. Nothing can do for it, really. I'll look into it myself. I don't know whether I'll come up with anything, probably nothing. But there's got to be things. I mean, you know, there's a rainforest there, isn't there? They've got all the cures there somewhere. It's got to be there. But they've probably just not found it yet. Everything will be there. Everything under the sun is, you know, perfect, isn't it? We don't need medication. We don't need big pharmacology. We need herbs and, you know, plants, roots, and stuff. So much bullshit in so-called medicine. Yeah, that doesn't sound nice. I'm scraping away at you, does it? Sounds horrible. Sounds very painful. There's got to be something that dissolves it. Something in nature somewhere. Some plant. All that I can advise is to have a really varied diet. Varied as possible, full of your vitamins and everything, and, you know, plenty of vegetables and, you know, green veg and, you know, all different colours of veg. Nuts, raisins, figs, dates, you know, things that you might not normally buy. Mangoes, I don't know, something in it somewhere that'll help a little bit. It'll ease the condition, hopefully. Yeah, I really hope you find, well, you know, some kind of reduction in whatever, because it's obviously flared up, and it's flared up from somewhere or something. There might be something in your diet you need to cut out, even. So look at your diet. But if the information's not there, if the science hasn't been done, then they're not going to know, do they? The real science, with real scientists, you know, not these fake people who just meddle around with everything. Epsom salts. Have you not tried Epsom salts? Oh, you're risking infection using Epsom salts. That sounds a bit weird. It's worth the risk, probably, if you're in that much pain. I can't imagine Epsom salts causing an infection. Yeah, so you already got a pretty good diet. got to go to the lavatory again. Drinking too much water. I still feel thirsty though. It's thirsty work talking. I think you should try it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And if you have a bad reaction, then stop it. You know, but give it a little bit of time to work. There's no point trying something and expecting it to work miraculously overnight. That's probably highly likely not to be happening. Yeah, pop out for a smoke. Okay. I'll actually go downstairs and get some more water and get rid of some of it before I go downstairs. So I'll see you in 3 or 4 minutes. Might make myself a cup of tea actually, so I'll be a couple more minutes. Oh dear me. Sorry about that. Took me a while. I had to go to the laboratory for number 2. Oh dear me. Oh. Shows I'm human. Oh dear. Yeah, you just popped out for a smoke, haven't you? That's one thing you could deal with. Yeah, that's one thing you could deal with. Stopping smoking. I've quit. I don't smoke at all. I don't even smoke herbs anymore. I used to smoke herbs. I used to smoke basil and parsley and lemon balm. They're good alternatives to smoking. And you still feel like you're getting a smoke and you still be able to roll it and all that lot. Try different herbs. See what you like. Smoke anything basically, as long as it's not tobacco. It's disgusting shit. You're just throwing your money away to criminals. No. The idea that you're coping, you're not coping. It's not helping you cope at all. It's illusion. It's an illusion. It's programming. You programmed yourself to think that it's doing you some kind of good or some kind of benefit or making you relax or something, some bullshit. It doesn't make you relax at all. I'm much more relaxed since I've given up smoking because I don't have to twitch about thinking, oh shit, I need a cigarette. You know? I've just spilt my yeah. So what was I going to say? Chop chop. I've not heard of chop chop before. It must be a colloquial expression to Australia. I've never heard of that. So that is that homegrown tobacco. That's what you could do, growing your own tobacco. If you insist on smoking it, grow your own. It's a lot nicer. You know your tobacco, your homegrown stuff. If you grow tobacco, you're curing it. You're doing the wrong thing. You don't need to cure it. Just grow the leaves, right? Trust me, I know because I've done it. Just grow the leaves, grow the plants, harvest the leaves, dry them out, and before they're completely dry, when they're soft, roll them up into like a cheroot, put a skin round them, and leave them to dry. Yeah, put a cigarette paper around them. Yeah, you leave them to dry. and just smoke them. And do you know what it tastes like? It tastes like a really good cigar. The best cigar you've ever had. You don't need to cure it. It's bullshit. They would call it curing, wouldn't they? As if they're curing something. It's just words. It doesn't mean fuck all. All you need to do is dry it out and smoke it. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. It's simple. Try it. See what I say. Do what I say. Well, I'm not forcing you to do anything. It's up to you. But try the experiment. Try an experiment and just do it. See what you think. Oh, and then you're still there. Good. How's your job going? You got all your chores done? I'll let you into a little secret. I'm still on the nicotine. You know this vape stuff? Yeah? All I do is put a couple of drops on my tongue. Just drip 3 or 4 times on your tongue. That gets rid of all the craving. Yeah? But I even forget to do that because it's not a habit like smoking. You know. So I don't mind. I've stopped smoking. My chest is clearing up. I couldn't get rid of an infection. I think I'm getting rid of it now. I just recently had another batch of antibiotics down me. So hopefully I'm on the mend fully this time. But my chest is a lot clearer. I'll be able to sing better and all that kind of crap. All the fun of the fair. You know, it's a lot better. Yeah, it is a habit. But the thing is, right, if you think outside the box, get your vape fluid. Yeah? And just a couple of drops, because it is deadly poison. Yeah? Just whenever you feel you're twitching for a craving, you know what I mean? This stuff's cheap as chips. £1 a bottle I pay for that. £1, that's what, $2? You $1 in Australia? I've forgotten. I think you are. So, you know, it's just thinking out of the box, thinking, oh, well, I need nicotine. Okay, I'm short of nicotine. What's the best way of putting nicotine into my body? It's certainly not smoking it. You know, it's not rocket science, is it? But there is a bit of science behind it. It's a bit more science. Yeah? When you ingest this, when I put a couple of drops on my tongue, which I will do, it's going down into my stomach, and your stomach's full of hydrochloric acid, of course, and that kills all the nasties in that. Any nasties that are in that will get zapped by the hydrochloric acid. Whereas if you're smoking that, if I put this in my pipe and vape it, yeah, then your lungs have got no protection because they've not got hydrochloric acid in your lungs. Otherwise, your lungs would just be burnt to shreds. You know. So I've actually got a vape pipe thing, a fancy one that a friend gave me, but I don't put vape oil in it. All I put in is olive oil. So I've got a pure smoke. When I want that feeling of a smoke, I can do that, but I hardly ever bother with that. Yeah, $1.75 for a pound, roughly $2, say. So you're getting one of them for $2, and that'll last me about 4 days. you know, 4 or 5 days. I could spin it out a bit longer and wean myself off it, and, you know, because you can be quite subtle with it. Just take a couple. I'm overdoing it now. Never mind. I've been doing it for ages, quite a long time. Even when I'd not given up smoking, I was doing it to wean myself off the cigarettes, and it's worked. I've been doing it for over a year. I've not had any ill effects whatsoever, none whatsoever. So it's not a bad thing, because it says on the bottle, you know, if you ingest it, you know, if you feel ill, ring a doctor and all this jazz, you know. Obviously, if I swallowed the whole bottle, I'd probably drop dead. Yeah, but yeah, it's deadly poison, of course. What, they're stopping you doing vaping? I can't believe that. I find that hard to believe, rather. Maybe you can only get it in certain areas. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Talk about people controlling people, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Freedom. Think outside the box. Do things different. Do things your way, not their way. Their way is to force cigarettes into your lungs. You can just go, fuck that, I don't need them. I've got no craving whatsoever. Hernandez, hello. Hello there. How are you? You enjoying the show? You've been listening for a little while, lurking, and decided to come on. Would you like to come up and have a talk? Go live on screen? That'd be cool. Yeah, get hold of some. It'd be easy to get it on the, well, if it's black market, it sounds ridiculous, but it'd be easy to get on the black market. If you can get cannabis, you can get that, of course, surely. Easy as peasy. It's probably damn sight cheaper. You probably get it for about $1 a bottle. Yeah. Connect to each other. We're good guys. How do you pronounce that first bit? Is it Edes? Edes Hernandez. Sounds right. Edes Hernandez. Oh, dear. Warming up. To get out of the bed. It was very cold before, it was freezing. It seems to have warmed up a bit now. Right. Oh, sorry about that. Just changed my shirt. Oh, it's better. Oh, new comments. Oh, Forever Love's on. Oh, wow. Do you want to come up and say hello? Come and say hello. Come on screen. You can just use your avatar if you like. It'd be really good to have a conversation. I've been talking to myself all night. Well, via the chat as well. Obviously, good people in here. Happy Joy's not got his camera with him. Whatever. Don't know about Hernandez. I don't know about Ed Hernandez. I don't know. Yeah, all good people in here. Only have quality people on here. I'll soon boot these idiots off. I've had a few idiots spoiling it all. Yes, I want to hear your voice again as well. Got a lovely voice. Have you watched the channel much? The bunny rabbits and all that lot. It's fantastic. It's really good. I've got quite a good playlist. I did one called Forever Love and Love Waves Drifting Forever. Forever Love, Love Waves Drifting Forever, it's called. It's a playlist and it's got loads of funky tunes on it and stuff. And some of my crazy crap, just for the hell of it. You know, so, yeah. Oh, cool. You're going to come round in a little while. That's fine. You make a cup of tea or do what you like before you... Yeah, that's cool. I'll endeavour to stay awake then. It's wakening me up a bit. I was tired before, but I'm going overtired now. So, carry on. Come on, you start the conversation going. I need a little rest. Is it all right if I have 5 minutes? Just to settle down on my own. I need to just relax for a bit and just de-stress. I'm not really stressed talking to you guys, but I just need to relax my breathing. I'm a bit out of breath. Yeah, okay. So I'll see you in 5. Okay, take 5. Hello again. Oof. You still there forever, love? She might be getting ready to come on. Oh, I haven't put a link. There you go. Yeah, don't even think. Click the link. Everyone's disappeared. I'm waiting for Forever Love. She's going to click the link in a minute. Hopefully when she's ready. Oh, suspense is killing me. I'll read you a little bit of this. Geoffrey Chaucer, The Canterbury Tales. The Pardoner's Tale. The Pardoner's Prologue. My lords, he said, in churches where I preach, I cultivate a haughty kind of speech, and ring it out as roundly as a bell. I've got it all by heart, the tale I tell. I have a text, it always is the same, and always has been, since I learnt the game. Old as the hills and fresher than the grass, radix malorum est cupidas. But first I make pronouncement whence I come, show them my bulls in detail and in sum, and flaunt the papal seal for their inspection, a warrant for my bodily protection, that none may have the impudence to irk, or hinder me in Christ's most holy work. There you go. Just having a look, see if anyone's there. Oh. No, I don't do Facebook. I'll tell you what, though. If you turn your computer off and then on again, or your phone off and on again, try again, because it might give you different options. Yeah, it's worth trying. Will you try that for us all? We'd love to hear you. Happy's crying. Have I got to do something? I can't understand what you're saying. Authorization. Authorization. Oh, I've not given you the authorization. That's because you've not clicked it. If you tap on guest, you wanted to get up, tap on the guest thing. It should give a red sign to me. I haven't seen that. I might have been reading while you tried. Try again. You shouldn't have to turn your phone off or your device off. Just click on guests again. It should come up red. Yeah, she's a sweet lady. Very sweet. She might have turned the phone off now because of what I said. Probably didn't need to. I don't know. Waiting for forever, love. Yeah, we don't want to wait forever. Oh dear. I'm going to open the window. I need a bit of fresh air. It's a bit stale, the air in here. I am. No, it's not showing up yet. She might be having difficulties. Put the link in again in case something went wrong with that. I doubt it though. Right, I'm looking out for you forever, love. I'll keep looking at the screen as I play. I won't be playing very well, but never mind. be out of practice. What's going on? Apparently I'm a disallowed user agent. Yeah, try another device. Something's going wrong. It's not me. I've not disallowed you. It's probably them trying to disconnect people. You never know. Could be interference, couldn't it? Damn nasty if it is. How did you enjoy that bit of music? It wasn't very good. I can play a lot better than that when I'm in practice. I've been ill. I had the shakes from insomnia. I had about 7 nights without any sleep. Yeah, probably the overloads. Yeah, I had a lot of insomnia, so it left me with the shakes, which stopped me being able to play my guitar. I've hardly played the guitar as well. I can't play the guitar either. What I can do is play the trumpet a bit. But I don't want to play that now. I'm out of breath. Don't seem to get any air. It doesn't help with all the crap they're spraying at us. It's horrible out there. It's horrendous. I don't know if you can see the sky. It's an absolute pile of shit in it. None of that should be here. It should be a perfect blue sky. But no. Not great, is it? Hope Forever Love gets back. All right, Hernandez. You don't want to get up and have a talk, do you? Just click the link. If you do, you're welcome. Nice to hear your voice as well. More the merrier. Get 10 on the screen one night, hopefully. That'd be good. I think I can have up to 8 or 10. I'm not sure. What's it saying here? I don't know. I couldn't work it out. I'll read a bit more of this. Oh, here we go. Oh, something's happened. I had to kick you off for some reason. It said Sabine or someone. It said someone else was there, and it wasn't allowing me to add you to the screen either. So I don't know if that was you or not, whether you're using someone else's computer or whatever, but it said Forever Love on it. But there might be something else going on, so I kicked it out, whatever it was. But that might have kicked you off completely. I hope not. Try and come back anyway. So try again. Try once more. And see what the options are. It's really pissing me off, this. It should work. Yeah, that's okay. Click the link again. I'll try again. Right, here we go. Invite guests. Wait a minute, that's wrong. Oh, you'll have to do it again. I messed up. You'll have to do it again, Forever Love. I messed up myself. I don't know what happened. We're waiting. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? It's not worked. I don't know why. Try it once more. It says edit name. Shit, I pressed the wrong button again. Hang on. You're not on again. I don't know what's wrong. I'm doing it whatever I do normally. Try it once more. See if we can try something else. Probably won't let me, but... Forever Love, you still there? Try it once more, please. I've got to get it working somehow. Yeah, could be. Yeah, technology is meant to make things better, isn't it? Meant to be able to communicate. We're adults, for goodness sake. Try it again. I've just edited your name. It asked me to edit the name. So I've edited the name. I put Forever Love 744 on it. Sorry, I've got it the wrong way around, haven't I? It's 774. I've made that mistake before. It's not working. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do now. I'll switch my phone off and on again and come back to you all, right? So you just sit tight. It might be my end that they're messing with. Is that okay? Is that a plan? Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? I'll switch my phone off and on again because they might be messing with my settings. Oh, do you want to try again first? Should I switch that off? Is it my machinery off? Yeah. Is that a yes? Right, I'll do that then. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right, back on. Try it again. God. The suspense is killing me. We must have had the same idea in our minds at exactly the same time. A bit of synchronicity there. Oh, it's doing the same shit again. It says banned from the studio. Right, I don't know whether to ban you or not, because it might solve itself if I ban you and then you come back. But that might mean you're banned forever. So I don't want to do it. Won't let me do it. Like Happy said, overlords again. No, it's a real bummer, for want of a better expression. I don't like that expression much, but it is. Should I start a new stream? Should I come out, get rid of this stream and start a totally new stream and then try again? What do you think? That's another plan. What do you think? Yeah? What do you think? I've not banned you. I didn't press it, just in case. It might have reset it though if I'd banned you and you tried to come back and then let you back in. Because it asked me whether I wanted to ban you or not. And I just ignored it. Worth a shot, brother. Right, I'll go for it. Right, I'm going to come out of here and start another live stream immediately, okay? I'll be as quick as I damn well can, okay? Cheers. Sorry about that. I forgot to switch this live stream off. It's ridiculous. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to end the stream now and I'll start another one up straight away.